this card, Yawgmoth's will win you the game.
Welcome to another game of Planechase. For this game of Planechase, we decided to do it big deck style. Also, we decided to play Planechase the right way, wherein each player plays his or her own deck. The players this game are Ronnie, Rob, Chip, Stevie, and John. They spend about the first hour of the game drafting planes, until they realize that it's a waste of time, and we just divvy out the rest of the planes randomly. Each player starts the game with a Planechase deck of 10 cards, no doubles. As a reminder, each player starts at 20 life, can draw from any deck, can roll the Planechase die every turn, starting at 0 mana and 1 more mana for each additional roll. As an additional rule for this game, we decided that each player must roll the die at least once per turn, regardless of whether or not they want to. Stevie goes first with an opening hand of these cards. Next in turn order, John's opening hand. Ronnie's opening hand. Rob's opening hand. And finally, Chip's opening hand. Since Steve goes first, he reveals the top card of his Planechase deck. The first plane of the game is Turi Island, making all creature spells cost less and giving creature cards from the tops of libraries to anyone who rolls Chaos. Stevie starts playing Sprouting Thranex as a land. Stevie rolls Chaos on the planner die, looks at 3 top cards, finds, and puts Prime Speaker Zagana into his hand. John lands Nin, the Pain Artist, and rolls blank on the planner die. Ronnie lands Godsire and rolls Chaos on the planner die, adding Sharoom, the Hegemon, and Exalted Angel to hand. Ronnie discards at his end step. Rob lands Magus at the moat, casts a face-down creature, and rolls blank. Chip lands Epic Experiment and rolls Planechase into Izzet's Steam Maze, giving everyone a second instant or sorcery spell and cheaper instants and sorcerers upon a roll of Chaos. Stevie lands Fervor and casts Knight's Whisper, copying it, paying 4 life and drawing 4 cards. Stevie then rolls Chaos, not doing too much at the moment. Stevie discards at his end step. John lands Genesis Hydra and casts Augur of Bolas, putting Mizium Mortars into his hand. Must be nice not having to worry about hitting lands. John rolls blank. On his turn, Ronnie draws Mind Twist, pondering the possibility if he rolls Chaos this turn, Ronnie starts his turn by rolling Chaos, which is going to make for a bad turn for 2 other people this turn. Ronnie lands Ob Nixilis, Unshackled, and then casts Mind Twist for 4. Wanting to be somewhat of a nice guy, Ronnie decides who to hurt randomly. Ronnie randomly chooses Chip and John, both of whom discard 4 cards at random. Rob lands Diabolic Revelation and rolls blank. Rob casts Simic Signet and attacks Stevie for 2 with his face down Achroma. Chip starts his turn by rolling the planner die, rolling blank. Chip lands Augury Adept, and since he has nothing to do with his leftover mana, pays 1 mana and re-rolls the planner die, again rolling blank. Stevie lands Vines of Vastwood and rolls the planner die, planeswalking into the Hedron Fields of Agadeum. On this plane, big creatures can attack, and Chaos rolls give players their own hand of Emrakul tokens. Not sure what to do with the rest of his turn, the allure of getting his own Eldrazi is too much for Stevie, as he rolls the planner die 2 more times, and whiffs just as many. John rolls Chaos and nonchalantly gets an Eldrazi. John then lands Comet Storm and casts Somberwald Sage. John then attacks Ronnie for 1 with his Augur, since Ronnie made John lose 4 cards with Mind Twist. Ronnie lands Crystallization and rolls blank. Rob attacks Ronnie for 2 with his creature. Post-combat, Rob lands Mana Reflection and casts Restoration Angel. The angel blinks his face-down creature, who then returns as an untapped Achroma, Angel of Fury, who says Resto can't blink angels. Chip lands in the Web of War and electrolyzes Ronnie for 2 and draws a card. Chip rolls Chaos, getting a 7/7 Eldrazi token. Stevie lands Seed Time and rolls twice with the Planner die. Stevie then casts Glissa, the Traitor. John tries to Pocknify Akroma, until he's reminded that it has Pro Blue. Instead, John casts Godo, Bandit Warlord, searching a pile and finding Sword of Fire and Ice, and putting it onto the battlefield. Ronnie lands Looter Ilkor and casts Supreme Verdict, clearing the board of all creatures and Eldrazi. Rob lands Mardu Charm and misses 3 rolls with the Planner die. Chip lands Angel of Despair and Planeswalks to Mutual Epiphany, drawing everyone 4 cards and undoing the damage from Ronnie. The players then Planewalk to Raven's Run, giving all creatures Wither and players incremental Blight upon a roll of Chaos. Chip casts Orzhov Signet and whiffs the die roll. Stevie lands Memory Plunder, rolls the Planner die twice and casts Phyrexian Metamorph, paying 2 life and copying John's Sword of Fire and Ice. Stevie has to discard at his end step. John lands Mnemonic Wall and casts Tamio the Moon Sage and uses it to tap down Rob's Signet. Ronnie lands Meglonoth, casts Signet, and Animate Dead, reanimating Akroma. Rob lands Lu Xun, Scholar General, rolls the die twice and finally connects with a Chaos, putting a -1 counter on Akroma. Rob then casts Desecration Demon. Chip lands Court of Calling and Dreadbores Rob's Desecration Demon over John's Tamio. Stevie lands Hero of Bladehold and main phase casts Summoning Trap, finding Progenitus and putting it onto the battlefield. Stevie is sadly unable to equip the Hydra avatar. John lands Leyline of Sanctity, rolls blank, plays 1 mana and rolls Chaos, adding 1 more -1 counter to Akroma, unable to target Progenitus with any of the counters. John taps down Ronnie's Selesnya Signet. Ronnie attacks Johnny's Tamio for 3. Ronnie lands Crystal Shard and casts Exalted Angel. Rob planeswalks to Agirium, making it much harder for white creatures to stay dead, and returning non-white creatures to their owner's hands when they die. Upon a roll of Chaos, that player can't be attacked for a while, which is what Rob rolls next. Chip lands Watchwolf, then rolls Chaos, meaning Chip and Rob both can't be attacked. Chip casts Drana, Kalastria, Bloodchief. Stevie starts his turn by planeswalking away from Agirium, removing Chip's and Rob's protection. Stevie reveals Bant off the top of his library, giving all creatures Exalted. Chaos rolls give a creature indestructible. Stevie lands Trade Secrets and casts Sagana. But Rob is ready with the Arcane Denial, which prompts Stevie to attack Rob for 11 with Progenitus. John swords to Plowshare's Drana, gaining Chip 4 life. John pognifies Ronnie's Exalted Angel, which actually had Exalted for a few minutes. Ronnie gets 3/3 Ape token. John then rolls Chaos, giving Ronnie's Ape indestructible. John lands Mind's Eye and targets Ronnie with Tamio, drawing 1 card. John rolls the Planner die a 4th time and passes. Ronnie attacks Tamio with the Akroma, and Rob with his Ape, dealing Rob 3 damage. Ronnie lands Control Magic and casts Thought Reflection. Ronnie rolls Chaos, giving his Ape a 2nd Divinity counter. Rob lands Sanctum Gargoyle and casts Shattergang Brothers. Chip lands Firemind's Foresight and casts Anawan, the Ruin Sage, forgetting that it won't actually kill Progenitus next turn like he thought it will. As a result, Stevie attacks Chip for 11 with it. Stevie lands Sterling Grove and casts Genera, Usura of War. And in response, Rob sacks Shattergang Brothers with Shattergang Brothers, causing Ronnie, Chip, and Stevie all to sacrifice creatures. Stevie shuffles Progenitus back into the pile. Stevie and John both have had Swords of Fire and Ice on their fields, and they have yet to be equipped to anything. John lands Sepulchral Primordial, not seeming to know how powerful that card is in multiplayer Magic. John then casts Enlisted Worm, cascading into Disciple of Balas. John then equips the human with Sword of Fire and Ice. Ronnie draws 2 with Thought Reflection on his turn. Ronnie casts Urban Evolution, drawing 6 cards, but in response, Stevie casts Notion Thief, wanting to draw Ronnie 6 cards instead. Luckily, Ronnie is ready with Putrefy, killing Stevie's Thief and proceeding with his card drawing. Ronnie lands Heroes Reunion and Sharum the Hegemon. Ronnie discards to 7 at his end step. Rob casts Rubinia's Soulsinger. Chip lands Harmonic and casts Soul of Newfrexia. Chip then planeswalks away from Bant to another Alara plane, giving Grixis creatures Unearth and Beacon of Unrest to Chaos rolls. Chip then rolls Chaos, taking Prime Speaker Zagana from Stevie's yard and putting it onto the battlefield under his control, with 6+1 counters drawing 7 cards. Stevie casts Karmic Guide, returning Palaka Worm to the battlefield, gaining Stevie 7 life. Stevie invokes Spite Bellows, killing Chip's Soul of Newfrexia when it leaves the battlefield. Stevie then attacks Chip for 3 in the air for taking Zagana and disrupting his plans for the turn. John lands Prophetic Bolt, casts Karn, and uses it to exile Ronnie's Ape. Yep, Ronnie's Ape. John then attacks Chip for 4 with his Suited Up Disciple, dealing 2 damage to Stevie with a Sword Effect and drawing a card. Ronnie casts Garruk's Wake, removing all creatures and Karn from the battlefield. Ronnie casts Soul Ring. Rob casts Makeshift Mannequin at the end of Ronnie's turn, returning Akroma to the battlefield with a mannequin counter on it. Rob casts Gisela, Blade of Gold Knight, and lands Soul of Chandelar. Rob pumps Akroma twice and attacks Stevie for 16. Rob rolls and planeswalks away from Grixis into Academy at Teleria West, granting bonuses to players who have no cards in hand at the end step. A roll of Chaos gives players a 1 with nothing. Chip casts Day of Judgment, clearing Rob's board. Chip casts Treasure Find, returning Day of Judgment to his hand. Chip lands Hesperia, Supreme Judge. Stevie lands Galvanoth, and casts Batterskull, giving him a Germ token. Stevie casts Jace, Architect of Thought, and uses it to mini Fact or Fiction. John casts Thragtusk, gaining himself 5 life. John equips the Beast with Sword and then rolls Chaos, discarding his hand. Discouraged, John wants to roll again until he is reminded that planeswalking away right now would be a huge mistake. John instead ends the turn and draws 7 cards. Ronnie casts Oblivion Stone and lands Fracturing Gust. Not wanting to lose his hand, Ronnie hesitantly rolls the Planar die, relieved when he rolls blank, although sad that he would not be drawing 14 cards as a result. Just wanting to have fun, Ronnie rolls 2 more times, but instead of hitting Chaos, rolls Planeswalk. Walking to Plane, Stairs of Infinity, giving all players a Reliquary Tower, and drawing the player a card with every roll of the Planar die. A roll of Chaos allows the player to scry their Planar deck. Rob casts Memory Jar and breaks it, drawing everyone a new hand of 7 cards, except for Ronnie, who of course draws 14 cards. Rob casts Merciless Eviction, choosing to exile all artifacts. Ronnie chooses not to blow up O-Stone, wanting to keep his Thought Reflection. Rob then rolls the Planar die, drawing a card and planeswalking away from the stairs into Interplanar Tunnel, basically allowing Rob to more or less choose the next plane the players walk to. Rob chooses Skybreen, putting it on top and then revealing it as the next plane. In Skybreen, the tops of piles are revealed, and players cannot cast cards that share a card type with anything revealed. A roll of Chaos gives players a Pseudo Stormseeker. Players cannot cast enchantments, creatures, artifacts, or instants at the moment. Rob ends the turn, returning everyone their original hands. Ronnie attempts to cast Mystical Teachings until he is reminded that he cannot, due to the plane effect. Chip chooses to draw Unmake, revealing Elish Norn, Grand Cenobite, allowing players to now cast instants. Chip rolls the Planar die twice, rolling Chaos the second time, choosing to deal 7 damage to John since he has the most cards in hand. Stevie chooses to draw Internal Witness, revealing Remand. Players again cannot cast instants. Stevie neg-2s Jace, peeling 3 cards off the top, but the cards players can't cast stay the same. Stevie rolls 2 more times, rolling Chaos on the second, losing John 7 more life. Stevie rolls the die again, planeswalking to Naya. This is the last plane of the game, as it has a very powerful function in the big deck format, allowing players to play their entire hands as land. A roll of Chaos will make a creature huge. Stevie lands Dismember and Worldly Tutor, and then casts Eternal Witness. returning Journey to Nowhere to his hand. Stevie lands Elish Norn and then casts Journey to Nowhere, exiling John's Thragtusk and giving him 3/3 Beast. John lands Ponder, Audakar, Valkyrie. Ingot Chewer, Magister Sphinx. John casts Warstrom Surge and then casts Body Double, copying Armada Worm, giving John a 5/5 Worm. John then attacks Stevie with his Beast, which Stevie blocks with his Witness. John then rolls the Planner die and rolls Chaos, not doing too much since he already attacked. At the end of John's turn, Ronnie flashes back Mystical Teachings, searching a pile, finding and putting Gifts Ungiven into his hand. Stevie has one untapped land. Everyone else is completely tapped out when Ronnie starts his turn. Ronnie lands Ratchet Bomb, Crater Hellion, Black Sun Zenith. Ronnie casts Blightning, targeting Stevie, killing him. Ronnie lands Bringer of the Blue Dawn. Ronnie casts Diabolical Tutor, searching a pile and finding a card. Ronnie then casts Yawgmoth's Will, which, along with Naya, allows Ronnie to play his entire graveyard as lands. Tech. Ronnie plays as many lands as he can that don't come into play tapped. Ronnie wants to cast Insurrection from his yard and win this turn, but he doesn't have a third red source. Ronnie casts Gifts Ungiven and finds 4 mono red cards, both of which he lands. Ronnie casts Timely Reinforcements, making 3 soldiers, and then casts Insurrection. Ronnie attacks everyone with enough creatures to kill everyone and win the game. We hope you enjoyed this game of Planechase Big Deck. Don't forget to like and subscribe and come back next time for more gameplay goodness. Thanks for watching.
So these are all lands?
Yeah, this is all gonna end up potentially gonna play the rest of the lands.
There's Insurrection's on there, but he doesn't have triple red. He got 2 red. He was like 1 red source away from Insurrection.
Gifts Ungiven?
Yeah, I used to need.
I'm gonna get 4 red cards.